I'm going to talk about doing ADR or Foley with Audition. Since everyone has access to the Creative Suite at home now, I'd like to make this our default application to work with. I don't know when Pro Tools is going to be licensed for home use, and this is something that will likely run on everybody's system at home. If for some reason it doesn't run, you're welcome to use something else, but I strongly suggest use Audition. It'll give you the most flexibility and be able to work more effectively for audio work, and it's what I'll be working in if I do anything moving ahead. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the workspace. So we'll go to Window, Workspace, and change it to Edit Audio to Video. What this does is it puts our video window up here, which is a little bit easier when you're working. So I'm going to import the file we're going to be working with. First, actually, I want to show one thing to you. And you'll notice we have Media Browser, Files, Markers. When we import something, your imported files will appear in Files, and this workspace defaults to the Media Browser, so just something to keep in mind. So I'm going to go to Media Browser, go to my desktop where I have the video, right click, open file. So if we go to Files, we'll notice we imported it. We also could have gone through the process of going File, Import, File, and point it to this. In any case, we imported this. The next thing we're going to do is we want to create a multi-track session. In Audition, you can either work with a audio file or multi-track session. Multi-track session is more in the lines of Pro Tools where you're working in a timeline with multiple tracks. Audio files, if you're just editing a single file, so it could be confusing if you don't realize you need to create a new multi-track session. So I'm going to create a new multi-track session. So we have our new multi-track session open. If we go to Files, you'll see we have the video we imported. If you open it, you'll see you can access the video or you can access the audio. We're going to drag both to the timeline. So just grab these and just drag it to the timeline. You might get the sample rate conversion dialog. That's okay. It'll match it to the session sample rate. Okay, so we have the video imported. And here's the line we're going to ADR. Okay, so just like with Foley and ADR in the Foley ADR room, we're going to import Foley ADR beeps. And we'll just drag them onto a new track right before the line. You want the end of the beeps to be lined up with the beginning of the line. Okay. What I'm going to do, I usually like to do this when I do ADR, is I like to trim out everything before and after the line, just because it could be distracting. Actually, I'll trim this, okay. So now we'll set in and out points. So go to the beginning of the beats, beginning of the beeps, press I for in point, go to the end, press O for out point, and now I have in and out point marked, and I'm going to go down to the play controls and engage loop playback. So if I play it back, you'll see it looping. Okay, so we have our in and out point selected, and we have loop playback selected here. The other thing you want to do is make sure you make your video window a little bigger so you can actually see the lips of the actor a little better. One thing to note, when you do make this bigger and you're in this view, you kind of cover up the files window. So I'm just going to drag the history down. An important thing you want to do is make sure that you're using headphones on your computer, because you don't want the microphone in the phone to pick up the beeps or the reference track. You only want it to pick up the voice of the person doing the ADR. Press play.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
And while it's looping, you can use your phone and your earbuds microphone, or you can just try the microphone directly on the phone. That's up to you. Record your ADR that way.